Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyayifunde incwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lwesiZulu bese sizalana sizoxoxa ngazo lezo incwadi esifundile. Sixoxela laba phela abanqina ukufunda nalaba bangenaso isikhathi sokuthi bafunde. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi. Senze okufanayo where we do ama reviews, senze ama recaps. Siphinde futhi sidiscuss any other issues avelayo ngenkathi siwabuka lama reality shows. So namhlanje ngifuna ukukhuluma episode yethu, the recent one. I know it's late. The recent one, Umndeni. I actually did a video and didn't feel good about it, and I deleted it because I felt like angenza ngendlela engengivamisa ukwenza ngayo ilokhuzana video. So this episode mayiqala ilokhuzana episode obviously they show us what we watched last week, a bit of recap about what happened with the first episode where Ubaba Maseko went and saw Ulokhuzana, so Ufezile, and they were hanging us. They looked like they were in love. I did suspect because laba ngathi badlala ngathi laba about two. They only see each other makubesuke be shoota ilokhuzana show. And also issue about indaba ukuthi uDabula bekuzoba nomsebenzi kubo, even though they didn't give us some details ukuthi ene kuzokwenzekani kubo exactly. And I felt like this episode was a bit all over the show. Ngathi bebengaplananga kahle ukuthi ene what is the storyline for this particular episode. So it was all over the place a little bit for me. So there is a scene where Lokhuzana Uthabula really was said about issue kamawake. Remember last season they had introduced the issue ukuthi Uthabula doesn't know umawake. Ngathi umawake labantu njena abathola ingane, left them behind nabantu bakubo, and went wahamba wayozidlela impilo mangabe wayozidlela impilo and forgot about ingane zabo. But I was under the impression yokuthi uDabula knows ukuthi how umawake looks like uyamkhumbula. Apparently they were so young ukuthi akamazi nokumazi, even isithombe utshelwa abantu ukuthi uma wakho unjena, so akamazi yena akakazi ambona, akanayo memory yakhe uLokhuzana uma wakhe. And I felt like that was so sad. It's such a good storyline, ilokhuzana istory sika Dabula. I do not feel because the producers of Moja Love are doing justice to it. I almost feel like mhlambe if it's a storyline esingenza very well if they did a spin-off show just for Dabula, just not even extended ngezinye izinto azenzayo, just about him finding who he is and finding who she is, sorry guys, who she is, and who her mother is, and where her mother is she alive, has she passed, where was she, what was she doing while ingane zakhe zisele elokhuzeni ekhaya. And maybe if they find her learning about the suffering that her kids has suffered while she's away, I really think it really would be a good show to just do that with Dabula. And I think it will also help Dabula to make a bit of money if they did a show. Also because I have questions about ukuthi bakhokheleka kanjani laphayana, because abanayo imali bona abolona amakhosikazi kaMaseko. It looks like umuntu onemali uMaseko, so it makes me wonder ukuthi ene uMoja Love ukhokhele uMaseko kuphela yini. But getting back to the episode, so he was just crying ukuthi apparently someone approached him on Facebook and had said ukuthi bamtholile Lokhuzana bathole uma wakhe uDabula, since he had spoken about the issue of uma wakho lahlekile last season. So I'm approaching Lamondi, he was very happy because usezo meet uma wakhe, and apparently later on she finds out because no, that was not her mom, it was someone else, and it's someone else that had already passed. And she said about it, I can imagine when you already had hope now finally I get to meet my mother. They don't tell us the details of what happened. Did she go and meet this woman? And how did she find out because it's not her mom? Did they do any DNAs? And abasnigila on my details. I feel like Umoja Love is missing out on a very good storyline there because they are not focusing a lot on it, and it is a good storyline to have on the show. But I liked it go with umamkhulu benaye unkanyezi were there for him bemduduza. Udabula ke even in times of distress, like he never runs out of shade. He never runs out of shade because he's like umamkhulu umduduzile ke uyamduduza uyasho ukuthi no ungakhali kakhulu because inyembezi are not good, they're not even good for your mother wherever she is. And nje let's remain positive ukuthi uzomthola yabona nje ukuthi uzomthola. I like hearing that ukuthi uzomthola. Unkanyezi tried to say something naye kumduduza, not something that I didn't understand, but I was just appreciative of the fact that at least bamduduza uyabona umnakwabo. And then ulona kudabula ke throws some shade ukuthi yazi unkanyezi mdala akeve mdala ngisho kunomamkhulu, but lento ayishoyo hayi I understanding I understanding nje usho into engeyenzi ihlobo le isense khona lapha esaid kanjalo besadelela. But I really thought it was good ukuthi even unkanyezi was trying. I don't know why they just hate unkanyezi so much laba, but even though she's around them she's really trying to get close to them. But kunalento nje ukuthi ngathi abamfuni eduzo. If it wasn't for Maseko they wouldn't be friends with him. And then they go by now helping uDabula to go shopping because kuzoba nalo umsebenzi wakhe ekhaya. I think it has umsebenzi that has to do with ubungoma bakhe. Remember ukuthi bebethwasa and uzo ekhaya to spend the 7 days ekhaya, and kunezinto efanele ayithenge like ama blankets and everything. Angazi noma mhlawumbe uyaphuma yini ekuthwaseni, that's why ethenga leza impahla. And maya yakhona uyasho ukuthi uMaseko hasn't given her ilokhuzana imali yokuthenga lezi zinto lezi, akazi ukuthi uMaseko ucabangani. I get the feeling ukuthi uMaseko akaboni, like maybe uyakuthenga ukudla endlini but akabaniki imali. And then yiyo lento engirezela ama questions ukuthi uMojelavu bakhokhele kanjani labantu, because they are individual cast members on the show. I don't think it will make sense for Umojelavu to just pay Maseko when these people are giving their lives to the show. And not only that, individually they had to do those interviews. And I always assume that once you are asked to do the interview, then you are a cast member, especially if you are doing that interview for every episode. You are a cast member and you should be paid like that. So it makes me wonder what's a name. Why bona bestrugglisha financially, because now impilo yabo individually should have improved, just like impilo kaMaseko has improved after he had done that the last season. So yeah, I have questions and I've gone online to try and find out indaba yama salaries ale show. Hayi iqashisiwe ngazi aninginika nama tips on how to find it, because we need to know how these people are getting paid. Yeah, so they go and they buy the stuff, bayapatanisa ke ama-cent, but it looks like uDabula had saved because khona imali abeyiphethe for ukuthi alokhuze akhokhe. And then the next scene, there were ulokhuzana uMaseko is spending time with his daughter, which was the first time that I saw her. And I've always thought ukuthi uMaseko must have kids, but bebengavamisile ukuthi babakhombise, or maybe if they did, I missed it. So he's spending time there at the salon. He has taken his daughter to his salon, which is cute. Ungakanani lo mntwana? Did I say ukuthi ungakanani? I think maybe ulago 18, so if ukuthi ngiyagesa nje lokhuzana age yakhe, and usesalon. She starts asking, I guess ukuthi mhlambe nobabakhe they've never really had the conversation about indaba ukuthi babakhe is in relationships with women and also gay men. So she's asking ukuthi baba kwenzekani kahle kahle wadzisha ngawe. Honestly, I think had it been omunye umuntu, that would have been such a great opportunity for him to educate his daughter about his I don't know, sexual orientation or whatever, like baba kwenzekani, what makes you want to take first multiple wives, and what makes you interested in women. And also, I think it would have been a really good time for him to educate his daughter, but he seemed to be avoiding my questions. And then he's like, how babiza ngobani? Obviously I called them mom amncane, but I just want to know what's happening with you. he avoided the question. He didn't ulokethi you won't understand. Sometimes as parents when kids ask us difficult questions, sivele siye kuleya nto that our parents did nakuthina, where they were like, hayi usamncane, you won't understand, when they don't want to explain it to you. And I think he did that because no, ngeke uzu understand. Even if I tell you ngeke uzu understand, I really feel like he missed the opportunity to bond with his daughter in making her understand how does he feel about this situation, how did he end up in this situation, what is going on. Unless of course he's just pretending for the show. This is just to pretend for the show. We never know. So yeah, but they had that conversation. I like that his daughter actually asked him, so baba, because he said no indaba yesithembu, it's elokhuzeni esegazini. Guys, I want to know yazi ukuthi why does everybody call isithembu? Because I thought ukuthi isithembu it's a term yesizulu, igama lesizulu. But nginokuzwa abantu who are abangebona amaZulu calling isithembu. Awekho yini amalona ama-terms abanye abantu abawasebenzayo. And then it makes me feel like then isithembu doesn't mean ukuthi isithembu kahle kahle sivela kumaZulu originally or what, angazi, aningicaciseleni lapho abantu abamavenda. What do you call, nisibiza ngani isithembu nina ngelanguage yenu? AmaNdebele well, AmaNdebele it might be the same. NamaSwati namaXhosa it might be the same because amanye amagama ethu ayafana. AmaShangana AbaSuthu nithini lokho isithembu, because it's like ngisho ukuthi umuntu ukhuluma isizulu, but when they're referring to isithembu they will say isithembu. Why? Anyway, that's what I just thought about on the show. Ukuthi uma sekakayena umZulu wayethanda ukubiza umZulu umZulu maseko akasade. Now that I think about it, uzokhuluma isiZulu maseko. Okay, no, I'll do some research. But yeah, I like ukuthi she asked myself, okay, Baba, because Baba said, okay, this thing is in my blood because my grandfather, Nami, I could say that because my grandfather was a polygamist. Nami, I'm a polygamist. It's in our blood. He says that. So his daughter asks, okay, since it's in your blood, then it must be in my blood too. So how would you feel if I just took multiple husbands? And you are like, what? A woman taking the typical response from a man is like, they can do whatever, but we can't. It's like, no, but you said it's in our blood. So if it's in our blood, you can take multiple wives, I can take multiple husbands. Why wouldn't I? But even that was a moment where they could really go deep into that conversation. I think maybe that's what the producers were trying to get them to do, but it just didn't work because I think Umaseko is used to just being surface with maybe Nganzake, and it was difficult for him to really dig deep, which is typical of black fathers. So yeah, so I think he just missed that opportunity, which could have been an opportunity for him to communicate a really important message to his daughter. But I like Uguti, they are very close with his daughter. They talk openly, they laugh together. The fact that he had taken her to the salon, I assumed Uguti he was the one that took her to his salon. I really loved that about that scene. And then the next scene, Lokuzana, Umamkhulu, Benunkanyezi, they are going to look for Fezile because they are supposed ukuthi plan that party. Remember, they're supposed to have a party for Baba Maseko. They go la kuhlala endlini ka, which I don't know where it is. Is it egcekeni kaMaseko or it was somewhere else la eqashe khona uFezile? Sometimes they don't say ukuthi bakuphi, vele ubona umuntu esephambi komnyango awazi ukuphi, noma use next door, noma u5 hours drive away, angazi nami. Hey, Moja love lan, you get confused. Moja love manje ihlanganisele enye information yasihlanganisela mabuka show, ngeke bakutshele everything, That's why we watch it. So they go and to find uFezile, bamfika uFezile akekho endlini yakhe. They knock, they ask abantu abahlala, which looks like amanye ama tenants, I think, because abashongo abamtholi. So they decided to go ke bayofuna bayobuka ivenue la kuzoba khona iphathi. Apparently the woman who was going to do it, deco and everything, I don't know if she was also going to plan the party, so she was a party planner or just for it deco, but she canceled. She wanted them to postpone because she lost her husband, rest in peace to him, even though we hadn't seen her on the show, I don't think. And so now she can't do the event. She was asking them ukuthi postpone, but they said no, they can't postpone. So bayobuka iveni, kunama arguments ukuthi ama colors, there's inhle leya venue for a nice intimate party njena, and they could decorate it easily. Just put some balloons here and there and whatever. I think if they put gold there, it could work. But bayaphikisana because there's blue couches there and there's white couches. About that, they end up calling Uthabula, I guess just for advice, and befuna ukuhlukanisa ama duties ukuthi ene kulokhu kanjani. Befuna ukuhlukanisa ama duties ukuthi ene ubani ozopheka, ubani ozokwenza i-deco and all that. Udabula is like masaqala phone call, he's not interested. I think he feels unsupported by uMaseko. And it really doesn't make sense. If ubenomsebenzi kubo, such an important thing that happened kubo, why bengamkhombisanga nje uMaseko supporter nakhona lapha umsebenzi, so uyasho ukuthi usasekhaya yena usayidlalele that 7 days that he's supposed to be at home ngawo, so aka-understand bamfonelana, and why bamfonela for iphathi kaMaseko. I would feel the same way, but uyenza apha-ke ethamba and lalela ukuthi bathini about the party. She thought ukuthi ene she thought but they are drunk on the phone. I didn't think they were drunk. I don't know where she got that from. And yeah, so that's it. And then they go home. Mabefika ekhaya kuMaseko ke throws a tantrum because they are kade behambile the whole day. Obviously kade behambile the whole day to prepare for the party, but they can't tell him to prepare for a party. So my babus baphuma, they're not gonna be able to give them a straight answer. So uyasho mamkhulu uthi I knew ukuthi uzovela be dramatic about the whole thing, and Maseko is upset ukuthi kunengane endlini. I'm surprised ukuthi futhi ingane sibuyile yini, because you remember ukuthi first episode they were taking ingane to ugogo ukuthi iyohlala nogogo ngoba bebethi akukho right ukuthi ihlale laba nabo. And now when they are having an argument lena about ukuthi kade behambile uthi no, you guys nizobuya ne-COVID, and masenibuya ne-COVID kunanengane la endlini akukho right lokho. So kusho ukuthi ingane kamamkhulu ibuyile yini, I'm not sure that abazange basibaclarify, so I assume ukuthi ingane kusho ukuthi sisendlini yini ibuyile lapha yana gogo, as they said ukuthi ibizo yagogo. Okay, fine ke. And then it comes up ukuthi uFezile has tested positive for COVID, and the other sister wives ke believe ulo unkanyezi, they like uFezile uyathanda ukusigula mayifuna attention ka baba vela so it's like baba asikholele leyo nto segule nini manje. And then kuMaseko ends up even aphuma test. I was trying to look very close to see le nto because unkanyezi was like, asethi unkanyezi umamkhulu said ukuthi phela lona usebenza esibhedlela, so ngenze ukuthi leli phepha leli uzibhalele lona. So there's something about ukuthi uFezile. I really hope ukuthi it's not something that's true, because if it's true then I mean COVID is very serious. So uthi uthe uadmithiwe esibhedlela and uzo discharged very soon. It didn't make a lot of sense, story sakhe, and it tested positive for COVID. And umamkhulu is asking ukuthi can they see her even if bambona ngale kwe-window or something, or kwe-glass or something, and uMaseko is like, no, I don't think we can see her, we just have to wait for a phone call eshow ukuthi uya discharge. And I'm like, but bam dischargelani esibhedlela, it doesn't make sense ilokhu isistory sakhona. Hopefully uFezile is somewhere just having fun, not wanting to deal with uMaseko and not wanting to deal with the sister wives and not wanting to deal with the show, and he came up with the story so ukuthi une COVID-19 so that he can still get paid for the episode. I hope that's it, but if he's really sick, I hope he gets better. Well, it's sure I guess ukuthi sishuthwe a while ago, angazi ukuthi lokhuzana bathatha isikhathi singakanani for us to show us episode, so I hope he feels better soon. But that was the episode for today. This episode really felt like they didn't have a purpose. It's okay, today we are dealing with this issue and we are going to give you the details into it. I really would like to hear more about this story sika lokhuza sika Dabula, and I'm still wondering about this story sengane kaMaseko benomamkhulu, what really happened to that baby. How did she end up in the hospital? Is it a girl? How did the baby end up in the hospital? And how is the baby now? I really would like to get that information. Maybe they're just choosing to keep it private. But thank you so much. My videos like a video before niphume. Don't forget to share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.